Just rewind with that eye candy. Okay.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar, Tim Vicious. And we are talking about Raw this week. It was, once again, this Raw. It was in Chicago, and, well, folks, we all know Chicago, I've said it a million times before, one of the best wrestling towns out there, but ever since a particular wrestler who wound up getting pissed off because of where he was at on the card, got his nuts in a vice and decided to quit, now it's pretty much become it feels like it's now become like the mecca for Smarky McSmarkertons, which, I could go on all day about it, but I won't, because not only have my producers, Wade, Boba, and yes, new executive producer, Boba, as well as Ed, and new executive producer, Ali Ben, which, by the way, he did so graciously allow me to use his music that he did make for the intro. So, make sure y'all check his music out. iTunes, Spotify, Ali Rewind Benji is the album. It's also on Xbox too. You know, could go on, but those guys, they want to, pretty much give me like the proverbial shot in the back of the head saying, Tim, we ain't got the time to do that. We got to go and talk about this show. We got issues. You got a mouth. You got a mic. Get your bitching out there. So that's what I'm doing. So, it is in Raw. It starts out, of course, and it starts out the most gracious of ways possible with Paul Heyman, my savior and yours. Paul is God after all, and yeah, pretty much Paul, and when Paul Heyman speaks, you definitely need to shut the hell up and listen. Not just hear him, but listen. Because that man could talk a vegan into eating a T-bone steak and then liking it. But anyways, I digress. He's on there and he's talking about on how Seth Rollins thought he took out Brock Lesnar, and on how he's thought he destroyed the mayor of Suplex City as such. And pretty much, to sum it up, and in Paul's own words, in the 11th commandment, God said, do not provoke the beast. And little do anyone else know, the 12th commandment, like I said, when Paul Heyman speaks, you shut up and listen. Yeah. But basically Paul does what he always does. He does promo, whether it's 30 seconds or whether it's 12 minutes. He goes out there, he cuts a promo, and when he does the promo, he talks about where the money is. And the money is in Battleground between Brock versus Seth. And normally I don't talk about promos. Like I said, don't talk about promos on here unless they benefit and add to the show, or, if it's a beneficial part of the show, short from opening and closings. Now, with this, they did wind up showing a promo later in the night with Seth talking to Hunter saying, so we got a plan set up to deal with Brock or something, because, Kane on vacation, Jamie's still not at 100%. Just want to make sure we know what we're doing. Hunter's like, think. What would be something they wouldn't expect? Paul said, don't intentionally provoke the beast. And Seth thought, don't intentionally. That's just crazy enough to work. Which then I thought all I could think is next week we're going to wind up seeing at the beginning of Raw, R.I.P. Seth Rollins. And, well, didn't lead to that, but Seth wound up coming out later in the show with J&J with their, new $50-something thousand Cadillac that I couldn't afford even with a full year's worth of overtime, which, by the way, if anyone out there is driving one of those things and they're watching this show, seriously, go fuck yourselves. Go put that money to better use. You know, there's food banks out there that could use that. You know, there's food banks out there that could use that money a hell of a lot more than you can, trying to go and show off you got Daddy Warbucks behind you. But yeah, Seth gets in the middle of the ring. Him, Jamie, and Joey, they all got fire axes. Which case, all I thought was, dude, that ain't gonna be enough. You need like a motherfucking shotgun and empty an entire box of like 12 gauge into Brock just to stun him, pretty much. You know? And then Brock came out. Seth called Brock. It's like, so you coming out? Or are you gonna be a little bitch? Next thing you know, Brock's music comes out and he's just like, Backs away. He's over. He's like, Paul, lean over. Paul wheels over a fire cart. Axe in each hand. Fire axe in each hand. Wham! Smashes one through the door. Wham! Smashes another through the windows. And then rips a door off and then hurls it just like it's a damn frisbee. That is scary strength right there. Like I said, 3 people legitimately afraid to fight in the business. Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Titus O'Neil. Emphasis on Brock being at the top of that list. Sorry. But yeah, after that, Jamie came on down. Brock, next thing you know, bam, locked the Kimura in, snapped his arm, grabbed Joey, gave him an overhead belly to belly onto the car, and then just looked like, oh, I'm gonna get you now, boy. Went down to the ring, just ran down, jumped onto the apron, and then hopped over like you'd have thought he was like Rey Mysterio. He showed that much agility, and just as he jumped over, Rollins ducked out and ran into the crowd and ran off. And Brock just got back in the ring, chased after for a minute, got back in the ring, held up the titles like, it's going to be mine again. And then went off. So Brock now officially has gone full on babyface. Not saying nothing bad on that. Definitely digging this run Brock Lesnar is having more than anything else. Not gonna lie, I am man enough to admit when Brock Lesnar first came on the scene back in the early 2000s, I wasn't a fan of him. I didn't like the sudden push that he was getting. You know, like that. But the fact of just seeing Brock now with a whole new kind of character, instead of being like this unstoppable monster, now he's just like this monster you do not want to fuck with, is a hell of a lot more entertaining, and hence why I'm digging him a hell of a lot more now than I did before. You know, and also the fact that he's got that MMA, he's got the UFC background on him now, that just gives him more credentials as a legitimate badass. Yeah, but now we'll move on to the first match of the night. And oh fuck, was it a doozy. Go from being graced with Paul Heyman to the likes of Big Show versus Ryroy. I believe I can sum it all up into just one small little comedic skit. Hold it. Pretty much sums it up. You know, it's the most entertaining part of the fact was Miz was sitting in a chair ringside with a mic, not on commentary but on actual mic, egging the crowd and egging them at the same time. You know? I mean, it was for a match, but there was really no interest in it. I mean, You're going to be having them go at each other in 2 weeks. Why are you giving it to us on free TV? You know, this is the same kind of shit that, you know, I was talking to my buddy Michael Cook out there earlier today, because he was saying big issue that the WWE games have been having the past few years with the rivalries. They book the same match through the entire weeks. In which case, all I thought was, and I even said to him, and Cookie, I know you can bring this up too. So it's basically, they really did just make it as realistic as they could. You know, but the match ended in a DQ when Miz wound up jumping in, took a swing at Show, and then tried to swing at Ryroyd, and then Ryroyd gave him a wound up giving him a shell shock. Then Show knocked Miz out, and yeah. Next matchup, we wound up getting a women's match. We wound up getting Brie versus Paige, and in which case, again, seriously, just like what I said before, why are we with the rivalries that are continuously going on like this? You know, give us a match 1 week, and then give us like a week or two of them promos and talking, you know, and then lead back to another match, you know, something like that. That would work a hell of a lot better. But instead, we're getting this. You know, this was really hard to try and pay attention to. I mean, literally. You know, it was the same match we've seen 100 times before. You know, and if anything, thing that was pissing me off on it, and I'm not the only one that noticed it. My friend Vicky Earl, she noticed it, and she even threw it out there. You know, the fact that Paige is calling out spots louder than freaking Cena does. Which, the fuck does that tell you? You know? Seriously. Paige, phenomenal wrestler. Obviously, she's a phenomenal wrestler given who her parents are. You know, her mommy and daddy were both wrestlers. So, what other option did she have for a career? She wound up getting in the ring, and, you know, she can work a match, but why? Huh? You're doing it like, you're calling like that loud? I mean, if you want to call spots loud, fine, okay, good on you, but find a way to do it in, like, some kind of code, like, you know, just doing, you know, like, beforehand, I don't know, like, when you're in the back talking to your opponent, planning out the match, be like, alright, instead of me saying, get ready, I'm gonna suplex you, I'm just gonna yell and taunt and be like, I'm gonna get you now, or something stupid like that. Just to give as like a code. Just a thought. But anyways, Brie wound up getting the win, which, by the way, real quick, I know I've asked this before, but I'm gonna ask again. Every time, I ask this every time she yells Brie mode. Is Brie mode anything like Montezuma's Revenge? Because I swear, that's pretty much what I feel like every time I get done seeing their matches. But anyways, Brie wound up getting the win because Alicia Dudley, I mean Bella, wound up, and Nikki wound up distracting, and Brie wound up hitting the face buster, which they now call the Bella Buster, and she got the 1, 2, 3, and then after that, Alicia came in, hit the scissor kick, then Nikki did the rack attack, and that was it. So yeah. Next matchup, it was Roman versus Sheamus, which, you know, a lot of people were just looking at this one like, oh god, no. Me, I was kind of looking forward to it just because there is a possibility, for all we know, this could wind up being the match we get at WrestleMania 32. This could be our main event at WrestleMania 32, for crying out loud, you know? who knows? And personally, I'm hoping for Sheamus versus Brock Lesnar, but beggars can't be choosers. Either way, this was actually a pretty okay match. Roman, he's been showing improvement, you know? And yes, I do just like everyone else, and I have shit on Roman for the lack of moves and, you know, his lack of personality. But you know what? That month away, he had to take time off for that abdominal surgery he got, was good for him because he wound up learning on how to do more time with the mic, and he showed a hell of a lot more personality after he came back compared to before. And not only that, you know, he's showing that he's putting in the work, you know, which, whether we like it or not, Roman is going to be the next big guy in the company, you know. So all I got to really say is just get used to the fact that he is, folks, and just go with it. Really. Yeah, bitch all you want, by all means, you're fully entitled to. You know, I'm doing it right now. But like I said, if you're going to bitch about the product, you know, offer an idea, creative solution, something, anything, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. If you think and you feel that that idea would benefit the company in some kind of way, and I mean an actual idea, not just, well, don't give it to him, you know, then go for it. Believe in that, and then, you know, just keep shooting. But if you're just going to sit there and bitch and say, well, he's not exactly the best wrestler out there. Dude, really? If you're going to shit on somebody like that, then how about this? Why don't you try shitting on Steve Austin, because after he came back from his busted up neck, he wasn't exactly the best wrestler in the world either. You know? Anyways, first part of the match I got really mad on because it was a really sloppy tie-up, and always say, how I judge a match, you know, first thing I look for, how they do the tie-up right at the get-go, you know? Want to see on how they do it. It looked a little sloppy to me. You know, I wasn't a big fan on that. I thought, oh man, don't tell me this on how it's going to go. But it wound up. But you know, it's the sloppy tie-up aside, it was actually a pretty physical match, and I was all for it, you know. It was pretty good. You know, I mean, obviously we weren't seeing a lot of wrestling moves or seeing a lot of wrestling moves. It was more like a brawl, which I'm okay with. You know? I thought the match was pretty okay, you know. It was a good mid-card mid-show match, which was needed, you know. Yeah, it was also a pretty fast pace for both of them, which, you know, was good. You know, match wound up coming to an end because of a count-out when, just as Roman was about to line up, they go and finish it. Next, you know, boom, lights went off, and Wyatt's music comes on, and you just see Wyatt coming down, and Roman climb out the ring, wham, Superman punch, and then next thing you know, go and pick up, and he's like, and sees that it's a wig, and it was just a dummy. And then Brady's like, I'm here, you know, hinting about being somewhere in the back. And then ref wound up counting him out, and Sheamus got the win. Next thing you know, Randy came out, and them two started going at it, and then Randy, wham, RKO. So we're going to wind up getting a match between them two, most likely at Battleground. Yep. So, next matchup we wound up having after that, it was Bo Dallas versus Dean Ambrose, which, you know, it's my big thing on that is I feel kind of bad because, yeah, it's it seems like they both don't really have much going for them creative-wise. Ambrose, obviously, I brought up last week, saying on where the problems are and what you could do with them. Bo, though. Bo Dallas. Guys, he is phenomenal talent. You know, obviously, he's got a little bit of a figure on him. You know. But, you know, in all seriousness, given his family, you really seem surprised. You know? But Bo can work, you know? And the Performance Center is a prime example of, you know, they can make somebody good, you know? Because look at what they did with him. You know, Bo Dallas can work the crowd, you know? He does that whole motivational, all you have to do is believe, and dude. And not only that, his character is just so horribly cheesy, you cannot help but love it. I mean, come on, how can you not? Yeah, that was my big thing on it. The match, it was what it was. Ambrose obviously got the win with Dirty Deeds, you know, but yeah. Hopefully, after they're done with this thing with Ryroyd, Show, and Miz, they'll wind up throwing Ambrose and Bo into the Intercontinental picture again to start trying to build them up. You know, because honestly, you know, you can build them up and make them something with that. Next matchup, it was R-Truth versus Wade Barrett, and you know, I'm still confused as far as what for the story behind their feud. I mean, Truth is just saying that he's a king and he's got like a Burger King crown and a plunger saying he's king. What's up? Alright, dude, I know he's supposed to be acting like he's kind of crazy and all, but in all seriousness, dude, no. No, I have seen people that are legitimately out there like that and think that they are. They do not go and use a paper. They don't use Burger King crowns and like toilet plungers to go and say that they're kings. They think they are. They will, you know, you want to make R-Truth look more believable, like he thinks he's a king, you know what you do? Have him go and take Wade Barrett's stuff. Have him steal Barrett's crown, have him steal Barrett's scepter, things like that, and have him hold them. And then have Barrett just go into an all-out rage and start, you know, bullhammering anything with a heartbeat until he gets it back. But the match, it was a pretty fluid match. I mean, Barrett, he got the win with a beautiful bullhammer. You know, Truth, he was on the top, he was coming down, and Barrett just wham, caught him with it. Just beautiful. I loved it. You know, and then got the 1, 2, 3, so Barrett obviously won that. You know, next matchup we had, it was the Lucha Dragons with the New Day. Primetime players were on commentary. Oh my God! Dude, I loved it. I love the fact that the primetime players were on commentary because Titus O'Neil, you know, another big talent, big fan of, hoping that they do a really good push with him. You know, wound up schooling JBL because the entire time JBL keeps trying to talk about, you know, what Brock Lesnar did to the car, or, you know, something from like, or whatever's trending or whatever, you know. Titus is just like, well, why are you talking about that? You got the tag team champion sitting right here. You got a match going on right there. Why are you talking about that? Why don't you try asking me a question? Why don't you try talking about that match? Why don't you call that match right there? You see that? That was an arm drag. Why didn't you call that arm drag? JBL, you're a commentator. You know, he was doing that the entire time. And God, I loved it. I loved it. You know, thank God somebody schooled him. You know? And I'm praying nobody was feeding Titus any lines to say that, and I hope that was just Titus doing a shoot saying that. You know? Because, you know, whether he gets heat from the back or not for saying that, the fact is JBL needed to get, just like I did, that shot to the back of the head saying, quit your shit and do your job. you know. This was at, you know, and it was, this Lucha Dragons versus New Day, you know, it was Kofi and Big E. They had nice chemistry. And yes, I did say Kofi, and much to the surprise of everyone, Kofi did survive the beating Brock gave him at, you know, at the Beast in the East Tokyo show. But to pretty much sum up every reaction to that show, I will now do it right here. Oh, there's Kofi. There's Brock. Oh shit. Kofi's gonna die. Kofi's gonna die. Kofi's gonna die. Kofi hit a move. Brock's staggering at. Oh shit, Brock's mad now. Brock's gonna kill him. Brock's gonna kill him. Oh, damn, that's ugly. And hopefully Brock is. Oh my god, he did it again. And, oh, Brock, come on, just end it already. Don't. Oh. Oh, thank God, it's over. And oh my God, now what? No, not Woods, not Woods. And Big E. Oh no! Damn, Brock just killed all of them. Oh damn, you bastard. Oh man. Ugh. Yeah, that pretty much summed up the match. But fast forward back to current day with this, you know. With this, they had nice chemistry. You know, Kofi, he looked a little hesitant coming out, like, but Brock ain't around now, is he? Is he? No? Okay, good. Yeah, new day, yeah. And then, and Woods, he's doing good with working the crowd. You know, I love that Woods is working the crowd the entire time during the tag match. You know? But match wound up coming to an end. Lucha Dragons, they went to go do, dual suicide dives through the ropes. And Kalisto wound up getting caught by Big E, and Woods pulled Kofi out the way, so Sin Cara just caught the security rail. And then, you know, Big E tossed Kalisto in, hoisted him up. Kofi, wham, spike big ending, got the 1, 2, 3, and yeah. So we already know that they're going to get the rematch, New Day versus Primetime Players at Battleground. Hoping that the Primetime Players come out on that one on top, because they can carry that title for a good bit, you know, and show that they're a good, strong, dominant team, and then drop it to a team that deserves it. Personally, after they're done, after the Primetime Players are done their run, I'd like to see maybe the Lucha Dragons hold those titles, you know? Because then you could say you had a former NXT Tag Team Champion as the new current WWE Tag Champions. I would say the Ascension, but the Ascension got to rebuild themselves on the main roster first, because they're pretty much being given the Spirit Squad treatment, minus the titles. You know, now main event time. John Cena doing the U.S. Open Challenge. He goes and he does his normal spiel, and then next thing you know, Owens comes out and he talks about, you know, now that I don't have the NXT Championship, I don't just want your U.S. title, I need that title. So I'm gonna put an end to this, so that way we don't have to see you come out here week after week spewing the same crap, which pretty much is, you know. And I'm not saying that as an anti-Cena fan. I'm calling it like it is. And for all of you that watch this on a regular basis, you know me, whether it's somebody I like or don't like. I see a bullshit spot, I will call a bullshit spot. And that is a bullshit spot, because Cena, he just does the same thing. He goes, he'll do Babyface 101 and pander the crowd saying, well, this is the such and such arena, and we're in front of the such and such crowd, so let's have a match right here that they can all enjoy. And, you know, he'll do that kind of shit. You know, do something a little different. But Owens comes out, he says he's going to do that, and then next thing you know, Cesaro's music hits. And again, I much like my homeboy Bingus is with Billy Gunn, I am with Cesaro. favorite guy on the roster, hands down the most underutilized talent on there. The man should be a main eventer. Why he is not, I have no idea. I swear, Vince really has no idea what he's talking about when he's saying that Cesaro doesn't connect to the audience. Seriously? He connected just fine when he was U.S. champion for 200 plus days, going out there, at first, mocking America, saying that, saying on how we're shit, and then acting like he's pro-America even though he was still shitting, And the fans were even still behind him when Vince pretty much looked and was like, oh, well, we don't know what to do. He's Swedish, right? We'll have him go out and yodel. And, but, yeah, Cesaro, he came out, looked at Owens, said, hold your horses right there. I had Mr. Never Give Up this close to giving up until you interfered last week. Now, you need to go back there or you're going to have issues with me. And then Owens backed off. So, wound up getting Cesaro versus Cena, and oh my God, what a beautiful match this was. And man, this was a great match. This was this was pay-per-view quality, hands down. Cesaro pulling out crossface multiple times. It's doing the uppercuts. You could see it was just beautiful. I wish I could go back in time, watch this match, come back, review it, watch the match again, and then come back and then slap myself for saying anything that I didn't like about it and say, what the fuck were you talking about? That was a damn good match and you know it. But, the whole time travel thing and same matter can't occupy the same space, so I won't be able to hit myself, and then, yeah. Don't want to get into the details on that, just trust me. But it was very good, very strong, very physical. And man, was it physical. And when Cesaro, he did the Cesaro swing, I counted 12. I counted 12 swings. I don't know if anyone counted more. If you did, again, comment box down below or hit me up on Twitter, Tim Vicious, and then tell me. But either way, match wound up coming to an end. Cesaro, he was about to go and hit a neutralizer from the second rope. Cena stopped him, jabbed him, and then worked his way around and then got Cesaro set up for an AA and then hit an AA from the second rope and then got the 1, 2, 3. So Cena won, and just as he won, Owens came down to go and hit a pop-up. Cena stopped him, hit an AA on him. So obviously, it's hopefully Owens is going to wind up winning the U.S. title. And I'm not saying that as, a pro Kevin Owens guy, even though I obviously am, or as an anti-Cena guy, again, which I obviously am. I'm saying that because, you can put more of a credentials on the title because Cena did it. Cena won it because he wanted to show pride in holding that championship. Okay, we got the story behind that title reign. Owens wants it now because he says he needs it, and he's made it clear, adamantly clear before when he was in NXT on why he wanted the NXT championship, because having the title means a better paycheck, which means can provide a better life for his wife, his kids, and such. So he's not looking for it for any other reason other than to get the champion bonus. Which, hey, that's enough of a heel reason, because, you could just say, I don't give a shit about this title. You know what I care about? The fact that it is putting food on my kids' plates. And I see that. I don't see that as a heel thing. I see that more as a fatherly way of thinking, because fuck, I think like that, I'll do whatever I gotta to get a paycheck. Short from, Get your mind out of the gutters, kids. Not like that. You know? But yeah, Cena, he wound up getting a win. So, that was that. Now, and folks, alright folks, so that's it for this week's show. And like on normal, cannot stress this enough. Do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on Twitter at Tim Vicious. Make sure y'all also look for my backup account, Tim_Vicious. Make sure y'all also look for me out there on that whole Facebook gimmick as Tim Ash. Also, do not forget to go and check out my boy Ali Rewind Benji right here, who's provided us with this music, as well as being the executive producer for Vicious Rants here at the Vicious Studios. You know, and he is on iTunes, Spotify, Xbox. The album, you know, Ali, he does good work. You know. Also, do not forget to follow all of these cool ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, I am Danny Sunday, Mucky Morris, Axel Mulligan, Sunday Segway, Simply Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, Oliver Ben, Just a Stupid Mark, as well as my client, who, as I have said before, is the true Raw General Manager, Bronx Bitch Forever. And, folks, like I always tell y'all, if you love me, great. You hate me, fuck yous.